Right, I think we're live. If we're live, just drop me a comment down below. Hey Tom, I can hear you. Let me know down below if I'm live and you can see me. I just want to do a quick live jump on, see how you guys are getting on. Obviously, the Q4. Today's a pretty good day. I think London has finished. Is about to finish, and we are like, you've got 7 minutes before the end of the thing. Just about hit £1,000 in gross profit. So really happy with that. So just going to give you an update. Also, I can give you an update on the spending as well. Last week we spent 75,000, about 25% or 25% ROI. We'll probably convert about 20%. But I'm interested to know how you guys are getting on. What's going on with Q4? Also, Black Friday is coming up. How's Q4 going? Are you seeing the increase in sales? We're certainly starting to see it now. I'm not going to lie. Definitely going to see that. Also, if you've got questions, do let me know. Obviously, I am doing it. What else? Other couple of things going on at the moment. Oh, I'm in Mexico. I'm watching, obviously, the Mexican World Cup. So watch that today. Obviously, it was a 0-0. Obviously, England won, and I don't know about America, unfortunately. But let me know how your Q4 is getting on. I'm really interested to know about that. We've hit 25,000 YouTube subscribers. Woohoo! So I just want to say thank you to anyone who's on YouTube doing that. So let's have a quick look. So if you want to know right now, I'll give you a quick update on my UK business. I haven't actually looked at the stats. We're about to finish for the day, so this is the 22nd. We're only doing about 20% ROI, so not huge. You know, if anyone's thinking about margin-wise, it's 10.42. So this is gross, not net. But we've done about 9,223 and gross profit sales about 961. So really happy with that. But we're definitely starting to see that kind of increase. The last few days have just picked up a bit. They're not crazy. I'm not going to say they're crazy, but they have certainly started picking up. The other one, which we have seen, is the fact that certainly sales are coming on. I've seen it with my sourcing VAs. They have really started to pick up in purchasing. Last week, again, we spent 75,000. Guys, if you are joining, do drop a comment down below. I appreciate people are joining on Instagram as well. I do have you right here. Don't know if you can see me, if I can hide. Yeah, voila, there you go, you can see me. So that's cool. So definitely, if you're here, do let me know. Neil Patel mentioned a question. I'm currently working on 12 to 15% margin. I think you mean margin. Yeah, margin. So we've got to just be mindful here. So let's be crystal clear. My margin right now is about 10.42. And this is UK. UK is generally lower than the USA. Like we'll kind of, if I do ROI percentage right now, today we're operating at 20% ROI. Historically, we'll kind of do about just below that 18 to 20%. So today's okay. Kind of like, you know, an okay day. Not like wow, it's okay. Sales are good, just shy of 10 grand. I'm happy with that. We're just about a grand gross profit. But margin wise in the UK, we're about 10, literally STK saying 10.42. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But I think, you know, we're doing OA, we turn quite, also as well, the one thing just to consider, while you do look at margin, be very mindful. Two things I would just say. Number one is when you look at people who own the warehouse, their own warehouse, for example, wholesalers, most likely their gross margin figure won't include prep, because they'll probably put their prep in their fixed cost because that's their warehouse fixed cost, their staff fixed cost, etc., etc. But if you're doing like OA in a prep center, generally you're going to include it, so you can play with that number. The other one to remember is that, yeah, my God, if I had like a, let's say for example we do an ROI or margin, I do 20% ROI today, margin is 10%. Now, if that, you know, that sounds like you might be better, but if my margin, for example, is, you know, half of yours, but but you take 5 times longer to buy something, get it sold than I do, then I'd probably take mine because I'm going to get more money back over the course of the year. So margin, ROI are great metrics, so don't deny that. We should definitely be looking at them, definitely trying to grow them, but they're not the only things. And also be very careful when you actually, should we say, compare them to other people. So for example, right now we have a 10% margin. We'll probably convert out in the UK about 5% net. So that's after everything. So hope that makes sense. Guys, if you've got questions, drop it down below. I will help you out or I will answer them. I appreciate I'm just doing some lives right now. I've kind of been doing some really cool stuff and creating some great content right now around VAs, sourcing VAs, like tasks that you can outsource to VAs. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to get them. Obviously, I'll try and get them live. So tasking source for the VAs, also sharing some bonus schemes for my VAs, and also as well, what else? The other one is bonus schemes, tasks, and then there's one more I did, and then also as well the top 100 supplier list. If anyone's interested, check out the It's on our kind of like profile. It's fasttrackfba.com. You can just do my secrets, my dash secrets, and you'll get the top 100 supplier list. That's UK and USA, so we have those as well. Check them out if you're interested. Guys, if you've got questions, drop it down below. And if you're on the Instagram, I can see you, so do drop your questions. You see, I am here, I am watching. Let's kind of go through. So you talk about, I'm after that, Reg. So how will it affect me? So you're probably going to see about an 8% drop in your profits. So if you're running about a 12% margin now, if you're going to drop 8% off that, you're probably going to be going down to like 9, 10%, like 9, 8, 9%. It's not 8% percentage points off, it's 8% of what you're doing. So it will drop, but it's not huge. Like you are going to see it. You do claim money back on your cost of goods. There are parts of that. Again, I'd probably look at the products you're selling. And again, like I don't really know what your margins are made up of. Like margin ROI quite vague in the fact that you need to say if it includes prep or not. That's another big one, but that will have an impact on that. I hope that makes sense. ROI of 20%, yeah. So I mean, like right now I'm doing 20%, and like, we have like, obviously we're VAT registered, so I have a lot of cost of staff, but 20%, I think you can get that up. If you're not VAT registered now and doing 20%, I'd be looking to get that to 20% with VAT registered. Top tip for you, if you are about to go VAT registered in the UK, do make sure you put in the VAT settings right now in your calculator. That's going to make sure you're buying good deals today, so when you do go VAT registered, you're not going to be like sat on bad stock. It's not going to make you money. It's going to go through. I do wholesaling. It's a volume game for me. Agreed. Just make sure that you're, you're making, money on the products after VAT registration. So hence put it in the calculator now. Guys, if you're on Instagram, we've got a couple of people joined. CJ, Apple, OFP Dealer, Yafor, Run, Abdullah 2717. Sorry if I said that wrong. It's quite a mouthful. But let me know if you've got any questions on Instagram. I am watching, I am listening. I can see that as well. Your margins will drop, yes, because of course it's a tax. Welcome to becoming a tax man. The government, the king says thank you very much. HMRC like you. Let's kind of go through which prep center do you use the UK. So if you're thinking about prep center, I literally just had a conversation with someone in the Seller Academy about this. That's here, Seller Academy. In the UK, the three that I'd probably really recommend are, or should you have a conversation with all of them? Q4 is a difficult time. And the conversation, or the three that I'd look at, would be Systemized Fulfillment. Kev Blackburn runs that. Know him, like him. They're a bit more expensive than the other two, but they do an amazing service, and they literally take pictures of your boxes. So when Amazon say stock's gone missing, you can literally send the video of the box being packed, and Amazon are like, okay, we'll give you your money back. So it works really well. Number two is We Prep FBA. I like those guys as well. I haven't met them. I think I've been to the warehouse. I've never met them. I drove outside one day. And then the other final one is Fast Pack FBA. As we say, Daniel Gibbs runs that. He's a good guy as well. So do check them out. They've been around for a long time. I think one thing I would really recommend with prep centers, like if I just talk about it in my business, both the UK and the USA, what are we doing? We are literally making sure we have 2 prep centers at all times. Why? Because admittedly, we're doing like, a couple of million, fine. So, like last week we spent 75,000 in the UK. We only spent 20,000 in the US, so not much. I think 29,000 we'll spend this week. That's the budget. So long story short is, we're always monitoring how long it takes the prep centers to manage the stock. So what we do is when we see one prep center is getting a bit slow, we'll ship to the other one and we'll tell the other prep center, hey guys, we've noticed that you're slowing down on the shipment, so we're going to ship more to the other place until that picks up again. Thank you very much. Why? Because we want them to speed up, we want them to get better. And also we're going to tell them that we're taking business away from them unless they get better. We got shafted last year, literally 2 months of Christmas stock sat in there, didn't help out at all. So caused us a real nightmare. But I would really recommend for you, even if you're UK or US, have 2 prep centers. If you're probably doing like over like 20,000 a month, just you can ship to, as long as they don't have like massive fees that you've got to pay every month, but you can load balance. I think it's quite a good trick as long as you're doing enough. If you're just starting out, probably just use 1 prep center, but I'd probably recommend like use one of the bigger ones of reputation. I've heard too many horror stories, and unfortunately it does happen. I've even heard people having to send private investigators in the US to prep centers to get their stock back. It's like, oh my God. What do we got here? Neil Patel, would you say 6% margins are good if you do wholesale buying and do big volume? I don't know. Like, Let me get okay. Look, I'm not going to say they're good. I'm not going to say they're bad. I'm going to give you an example. If you're doing 6% margins and it takes you a year to shift your stock, I'm saying no. It's probably a really, really bad thing. But if you're doing 6% net margins and you can shift it in 1, 2, maybe 3 months, and it's not too bad. If you know, like, by the way, we do 5% margins and we use none of my money. Like, I have no money in the business in the UK. That's this one here. That one I have money in, but that one I don't. And the reason is I'm using Amazon loans, I'm using credit cards. So we have to pay the interest on that money. So that drops my margin down. But I think people can do a lot better than that. You know, in the US, I know a lot of people doing like 15% margin. Like, that should be fine. UK, they can do about 10% margin. We do 5. We just pay for a lot on interest. Why? It's not my money. I don't really care. I do 2 hours a week. But I think for you, if you're doing 6% margins, it's all your money, profit reinvested. And if it's all you're doing a lot of the work, then I'd probably say I think you could probably do it better. But I'm not here to say like you are right or you're wrong, but I'm just saying I think I would challenge you that I think you could do better and possibly look at it. Amazon Automation Expert has just joined on Instagram, and TAS27007. 2007. Amazon Automation Expert. I'm not going to lie, if you don't know, Kevin David, by the way, has been taken to court by the FTC for Amazon Automation mis-selling. So apparently, according to them, very few, if any, people ever made money during Amazon automation. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Let me know on Instagram, Amazon Automation Expert, if you think Amazon automation is good, if your customers are making money. I'd be very interested to know. But the FTC say otherwise. I'm not saying it's true or right, but that's what the FTC say, and they sued Kevin David, who's pretty big in the space, for millions, literally millions, but I'm sure we've seen that already. Let's kind of go through. Brenzo Beats, can you go through how to connect with wholesalers? Really simple. Google brand / wholesaler. So Nike wholesaler, US, for example. Find out who they are. Get on the phone. Hey, I'm looking to sell this product. Can I open up an account with you? Like, really simple. By the way, I don't do wholesale. I used to. I kind of get the idea. I know how it works. We've done like 40K a month in wholesale, then stopped. But I don't think it's too challenging. Just get on the phone, fill in the application form. Generally speaking, wholesale is about a relationship game. It's going to be about communication, building that relationship. That's why I don't do it, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the person building the relationship. Because if I build a relationship, I'm not an owner, I'm an operator. And I'm a big believer in I own my businesses. And when I want to take time off, say a couple of weeks, a couple of months, that I will take that time off. But if I'm the one who has to have that relationship with the supplier, then that's not going to work. That's me having a job. And I refuse to build a business whereby I create another job for myself. That's not what I'm doing. I'm building a business where I'm an investor and I'm an owner. I'm not an operator. So definitely for you, get on the phone, learn that skill set 100%, but also as well, like, build that relationship, or get someone in your team to build that relationship as well. I think that really help out. But it's not too hard. I don't think it's too challenging. Or the best way to find them, honestly, the best way to find them, call the manufacturer up or send the manufacturer an email and say, hi, we want to buy these products. Can you recommend us distributor or wholesaler, please? Or your recommended distributors, please. They'll tell you. They'll literally tell you. Top tip, don't do it from a Gmail. Create a proper company email with even just a one-page website. That'd be great. But they'll just tell you who their suppliers are or their distributors are. But the manufacturer will tell you direct, because it's in their interest to sell it. And then the manufacturer will deal with you, or the whole distributor. Really simple, really, really simple. Or Google. That's the other way to do it. Yassine, what's the best selling products for the UK marketplace? I don't know. Like, go to Google, go to Amazon, look at the product and do top 100, and then find the top 100 be the best selling products. That's it. You can even go to Keeper and do like sales rank #1. That will tell you literally the best selling product for that thing. Like, that's really simple. Like, that's so simple. Just type in Amazon top 100. Amazon will show you the best selling products. I promise you, it's not particularly challenging. Aaron Land, Wealth in the Making has joined on Instagram. Aaron Land. Inric Boo has just joined as well. Let me know, guys, on Instagram if you've got questions. I will answer them. I'm just dropping on quickly. I do enjoy systemized fulfillment content as well. I watch both of you. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that and I'm gonna send it to Mr. Kev Blackburn. Why? Good friend of mine, but also as well, yeah, my God. Credit where credit's due. I think I should definitely let him know that he absolutely, he's got a big fan. So thank you very much, Matthew. Really appreciate that. Neil, most of my products do 1,500 sales, and I take around 304,000. 1 second. I'm just going to send Kevin this message, and then I'll jump back to you. Woohoo! Kev's going to love me, and he's going to love you, Matthew, as well. Just want to say thank you. There you go. Just send that to him. Right, let's going to go through. Most of my products do 1,500 plus sales, and I take around 300 and 400 sales a month. I'm aiming to make at least £100 per SKU from 60 to 600 SKUs. But one-time VAT register, I think I need to sell more to make up on VAT and register. Yeah, possibly. Or you could go looking at. Or you could go looking at non-VAT registered items or zero VAT registered items. If you get HMRC guidance about zero VAT registered items, I think that'd be very helpful as well. That's possibly an option. It's a lot harder. There's not that many. It'll be like certain types of products you can sell. But I do like you can do it. Like don't get me wrong. Like if you're doing a volume game and you've got the money and the operations and you're very efficient. By the way, volume games are about efficiency. I'm not saying I'm the most efficient, but what I do have is a very large team, and that's my edge. I can do a lot of staff, and we can grow businesses high because I don't have to do it. So long as you understand your edge, it's absolutely fine. So long as you're happy with your profit margins. And I think, look, the question I would say to anyone is don't let anyone tell you like you're not making enough profit. If you're happy with the profit, then fantastic. But it's okay to challenge that. It's okay to say, look, if I think I could probably do better, and how would I do it? So I think possibly maybe you're right. Maybe look at like for you, look at the top bottom 20 SKUs in profitability, drop them and try and increase the overall. If you did that every month, just take, you got 60 SKUs. Say every month I want to drop 6 SKUs and I want to take 6 new SKUs on. Like that could be a way just to surely shift that portfolio up, as long as you're utilizing money. I hope that makes sense, Neil. It's a really good question. But again, you're just going to try and look for more profitable products or using more leverage. There's a lot of ways to play this game. There really are. I talk about it in Seller Academy. Like I really talk about that. Task 2007 has said, what profit margin should one set on the Seller Toolkit rules? I don't really do profit margin, but I do ROI. I think for me personally, we probably do about 20% ROI minimum. That's what we're trying to aim for. We have that on one of our rules. We have other stuff as well. But I'd only ever do profit margin or ROI, never do both, because they're a bit kind of pointless doing both. So if you're going to do margin, you might do like 10%, for example. But again, I'm really looking at ROI. Why? Because I'm very interested in about getting the return on my investment rather than, like, if I sell a product, and by the way, we don't sell low value items. Like if you're selling like items below £15, £15, £10, you might want to go for margin. But if you're going above, you might want to look at ROI. Why? Because if I'm buying something for like $1 and I'm selling for $2, well, 100% ROI, but it's only $1. It's not much. Whereas that's a 100% ROI. But if I'm buying something for $20 or pounds and I'm selling it for, and I'm making 25 on it, that's only a 25% ROI. It's $5, and I like that, so that's good. So again, generally, I think if you're below $15, probably do your things on margin, and the reason is that I would want to do a percentage of the sale price. If I'm doing $15, I'd probably want to be getting at least a 15, if not 20% margin. I wouldn't care about ROI. But if I'm going higher than $15 or pounds, then I'm probably set my repricing based on ROI. Hope that makes sense. But again, if you're doing wholesale model, you might do margin and low value volume. But if you're doing OA and doing a high value item, that works. Task 2007 on Instagram, hit the love heart if that likes, and give me a little like, hey Tom, yeah, that's great. Appreciate. Obviously, I'm also over here. So let's kind of jump over. Who have we got? Brenza Beats. What's the best overall Amazon software, e.g. Buybot Pro, Jungle Scout? It's not my place to tell you the best. Like I can't tell you, like, but I say that in the fact that like I can tell you what I use. I don't categorically know the best, but I think, for me, what do I use and what do my team predominantly use? And by the way, we have access to all of them. We predominantly use SAS, Seller Toolkit, I really like that. And we predominantly use Keeper. They're the two that we use. We use Amazon DS Quick View as well. That's free. So we really like them. They're like the kind of 3 tools that we use predominantly. We use STK for our repricing. Again, generally, they're all created by people that I know. I've met them. And not Keeper, I've not met. But also as well, they're ex-Amazon sellers, so they kind of understand the game. So I think that's really good. And they're arbitrage sellers, not just Amazon sellers, but arbitrage. So Seller, Amp, SAS, and Keeper, we really like. Let's go through. Neil will tell, is that the right way to go about it? It's up to you. If you want to increase your ROI, you can, definitely, absolutely fine. Let's go down through. Is it recommended to use multiple prep centers and a new one as they get crowded and other retailers will flag the dress at some point? Possibly. I think like for you, if so, you've got 2 bits there. Let's just talk about the retailer side. If the retailers are flagging your thing, cool, try another prep center, see if it will go through. It might not be the prep center. It could be your account. That's one thing to be reminded of. So yes, try another prep center for that. Like we've done that many times. Also, number two is good prep centers know the game. Good prep centers know that Q4 is very, very busy, and also good prep centers know that they have internal metrics that they track about how quick they're shifting stock. And if your team aren't shifting out, if your prep center isn't doing it, have a conversation with them. And if they don't change, go somewhere else. But they should be understanding. Like I know a lot of prep centers in Q4 will just not accept new clients because they want to make sure their existing clients are happy. So I hope that makes sense. Instagram, Ioloa, I think that's right. What is the most efficient sourcing method when starting out? I think for you, if I'm going to do it, I'd probably say go straight to Amazon. I'd go to storefront stalking and look for I'd look for products that I can actually sell that I'm mandated in, and then I'd look for other suppliers selling that. And I would go find one of those kind of products at those ones. Generally, storefront stalking with suppliers less than 50 reviews. Why? Because you want other people who are pretty new to the game. That'd be my top tip. Storefront stalking, reverse sourcing. Don't start on Walmart or Argos. Start with Amazon and look for ungated products, and then reverse source that back into the supplier. It's the best way to do it because there's more products in the supplier than there are in the Amazon that you can sell. So I hope that makes sense. Got another one on Instagram. Third-party fulfillment services, FBA. Who is the best? Just got a VA from the academy. Fantastic. We were doing 20 units per day prior to getting. Yeah, like congratulations on the VA. Great to have you on board. The one thing which I will say is you can't ship directly to FBA. So we ship from Walmart or Argos to the prep center, third-party fulfillment center. Then we ship to Amazon FBA. Bit of a pain, but you can't ship from Walmart directly to FBA. Amazon won't accept it. So you have to use a third-party fulfillment center for doing that. That's why we use them. So it's not really which is best. You have to. That's the way you got to do it. So yeah, honestly, well done on getting a VA as well. FastTrackFBA.com/VA if you are interested. Al Zitzer on Instagram, hit the like heart or let me know if that's helpful. So Neil Patel. So yeah, 6% margins. I buy 250 and I sell out an 8-day max. Fantastic. Yeah, I think the question comes to you is like, by the way, you don't have the purchasing power. But I think, by the way, when we run out of money, we run out of money last week. When you run out of money, like you should be going for higher products, higher value products. If you're just constantly buying low value products, shifting it, you're missing out on opportunity. Like, because I get what you're doing. You're like, yeah, I want to keep churning money, churning stock, and like you're getting nice revenue figures, cool. But like you're not maximizing the profitability. Your ultimate measure of success is that you have no money in the bank and but you're always selling. You've always got stock on sale and it's always selling consistently. So, and I'm guessing for you, if you sell out in 8 days and you'll keep running out of stock in Amazon, well, it means you're not meeting that success criteria. And what does that mean? Well, it means that you're selling too fast. And I'm not saying you should raise your prices or like you should look at other stock that maybe costs more or like it doesn't sell as fast, but you can make more profit. And the reason why I say that is because you're like, if you think about a month, you're only selling for a week and then you've got 3 weeks of no sales. Well, it means that you're selling all your stock too fast. And by the way, you don't really get to dictate the price of stock if you're doing a wholesale or arbitrage because it's market conditions, but it's probably the fact that like it's the stock that you're buying is selling too fast and you're not getting a good enough ROI on your money. You might go for higher ROI items, less of them, and then you're constantly selling. And what you're really looking at is what's my ROI on my investment every single month? Can I go for higher ROI items? By the way, you're like, let's say for example, you put 10,000 in and you get 10% margin or 10% ROI. So cool, you sell that in a week, or you just made $1,000, fantastic. But it could be the case that you now go, look, I'm going to put that 10,000 to 20% ROI items, and they're not going to sell out in a week anymore. They're not going to sell out in a month. We've now just made $2,000 in a month because the other one you made 10% in a week, and then you couldn't do anything for 3 weeks because you ran out of stock. So you get nice revenue numbers, but you're not making the profit. So really like drive that profit up. I hope that makes sense. Instagram, how many SKUs should you have at all times as a beginner to make a profitable business? I don't know. I think my advice would be take your inventory, your capital that you've got, and spend no more than 5% in any one SKU. So if you've got $1,000 right now, then 5% of that would be like what, $50 or £50, and then you just split that across different SKUs. And my advice would be that that's an Instagram, by the way, and then you'd be like $50 until you have 20 SKUs. So I'd probably say like at least 20, like because then you're like Amazon going to come on, you're going to get IP complaints, you're going to have problems. You're not too heavy in any one issue. So like no more than inventory. So to directly answer your question, how many SKUs should you have at all times? I think you should have at least 20. I don't know the top end, but I think the bottom end, you want to get to 20 as a minimum to spread. It's a very different model to private label. Private label, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In arbitrage and wholesale, I think you should try and build up those SKUs. Wholesale's a bit different. OA, definitely 20. I'd really go wide, not deep. Hope that makes sense. Brent, what's the best method to sell alternative to wholesale in your opinion? I don't really understand what you mean. Wholesale is not a method of selling. Wholesale is a method of sourcing. It's where you find products or a method or where you're finding products from through the supply chain. It's not a selling methodology. So I don't really know the question. If you could give me a bit more information, Bren's a beats, that'd be greatly appreciated. Guys, if I'm answering your questions, hit the like button. If you're liking the YouTube live, hit the like button. If you're liking on Instagram, hit the heart button. Absolutely love you. Everyone loves a good heart. It makes me feel happy. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Let's go through. Just a shout out, I watched your podcast, very informative. Oh, which one did you watch? Let me know. Let me know which one you watched. Like podcast. Is it one with Seth and Gavin? I'm not really too sure. Like I've done so similar stuff. Let me know. Really, really good. So thank you. Darren, how many FBA sellers on one product would you take it for you not to this? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't look at like that number. Thank you for the love heart on Instagram, 100%. Thank you for the love hearts. Woohoo! Thank you so much. Hit the love heart, hit thumbs up, guys, if you're on Facebook. Absolutely love you. So how many sellers would it take for me to not? It wouldn't be that. It would be, so the two real kind of metrics that I would look at. Number one, I would look at, is there more than 3 months worth of stock on the listing generally for FBA sellers? If there is, I would be worried because too much competition or too much stock for the volume of sales for the listing, and as a result, they're probably going to drop the price. Number two, I don't really know the ratio. Like I'd probably say can like everyone get at least 1 or 2 sales in. Like so, if it's selling 20 units per month and there's 10 people, then you can get 2 sales per month. That might work. But if there's like 15 people on the listing selling 20 units per month, I think that might be a bit too many. Again, I'm going to look at historical averages, but I think really what I'm looking at more so than the sellers is the stock, and that's going to, and how that's spread across those sellers. There isn't a set answer, it's an analysis. It's a good question. I think I should really try and think about that. Like how many sellers is too many? Yeah, I don't know the answer. Stock would be the main one because you could have like 100. You could have 100 sellers as one item of stock, and if it's selling 100 units per month, then you're not really worried because they'd all sell out in a month. But you can have 5 sellers on a unit selling 1 unit per month, and they're going to be 5 months worth of stock if they all had 1 unit. That'd be too much. So the sellers wouldn't be my metric of success. My metric of decision, it would be the price. Less stock. Hope that makes sense. Let's go through Neil Patel. Yeah, looking at competitors, I see they do volume 2 for products about getting the products out quickly. Yeah, I agree. I get it. If you've got the cash flow, 100%, 100%. But if you're running out of money, that's the problem. Like, don't do that. That's the thing. Like, you go for higher value items. Let's kind of jump through. Ooh, had a nice product in there, didn't we? How old's that one? Oh, that's really old. Just watching SDK, we had a product just literally just turn up. You're gonna love it. You ready? We just made a £13 loss. Really? How does that work? It sold for nothing. Don't know. Don't really know what happened. Maybe we cleared it down. Maybe destroyed it. It said it sold. SDK saying sale price 000. Loss £13.85. We'll look at that one in a minute. Right, let's kind of go through. Hello, Mariam Khan, 91, Volt, Ban, B, by UK, Bastin. Sorry, I hope that makes sense. Let's kind of go through. What's this? Oh, sorry. Ahmed. Hey, Ahmed. Good to see you. Let me know how the cash flow sheet's going. Hope it's going well. Let's go jump through. Brenza Beats. What's the SKU? SKU, stock keeping unit. Stock keeping unit. It's a stock keeping unit. It's basically a descriptive term to describe your products. That's it. What I meant that by what the previous question. What's the best method to sell alternative to wholesale? I don't know. Like there is no best method. You can do private label, you can do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, drop shipping. It's up to you. Really up to you. Let's go through. Neil Patel, got it, thanks. Or would you say once you've sold 75% of the SKU, I place an order to the supplier, so I'm not only buying a SKU at once, it's fully sold out, as I do get 30 credit a month, but it's not enough. Yeah, absolutely fine. Look, I can't tell you that. Like the question is, look, at a fundamental level, you want to ensure consistent supply to meet demand. That's it. When supply meets demand, not overly meeting demand, but consistently, then you're going to optimize for profitability. So I can't tell you like 75%. You've got to do the calculations, and really you're looking at your shipping times, you're looking at like your money availability. That's what you're calculating. Like again, it's wholesale. I'm not the best on wholesale. I understand the principles of it. I could do the maths, but like Amazon Lit, Watch Me Amazon, they're the guys I'd probably recommend on wholesale. But I would really think about like you're trying to make sure that you always have stock in the inventory, not too much stock, not too little stock, but you've always got stock going in, and it's a consistent rotating thing, and you're maximizing that 30k credit. But hey, well done for getting 30k credit. To define what I mean by method is that a method would be something like online arbitrage, another model would be like wholesale. My question is, what do you do out of the two? Oh, I do OA, 100% OA. These two businesses are 100% OA. Tell a lie, there's about £120,000 in that 3 million, which is like wholesale, but like we stopped doing that now. But yeah, it's all OA, all online arbitrage. I live in Mexico, so yeah, I can't do much of that. Right, guys, let me know your questions. Anyone on Instagram, say hi. What would you say not to focus on metrics too much and percentages, but find 100 SKUs making these £100 per month and play the game that way? I'm going to come straight back at you and say your metric is find 100 SKUs to find 100 profit per month. It's absolutely fine. You can do it that way. There's no harm. Like absolutely fine. But you're like, by the way, you're looking at metrics. You're telling me like that is your metric. Your metric is I want 100 products. My goal is to find one product making £100 per month profit, and then I keep doing that game. That's all you're doing. Absolutely fine. Gravy on Twitter, Gravy Train UK does that all the time. He literally like, I just want to make like one product make me X amount of profit. I'll do that. I'll keep churning it and then build another one. Got to 1 million. Like really proud of the guy. He's like incredible. So I think for you, yeah, like there's so many ways to play this game, and it's got about what you want, your profitability. So if you've got 100 SKUs making 100 per month, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. What's that? 100,000, 10,000, 10,000 a month. Yeah, cool. Happy days. Do it. Keep going. Fizzy Jizzy, do you get surprise gated issues when sending in Boots' own branded items? We don't buy from Boots. They won't sell to us, unfortunately. Buybot process eligible to sell, but I fear Amazon will hit me with a surprise gate. Yeah, it does happen, but it does happen. But generally, I just keep shipping in. Like I get your point as a worry, but my God, at the end of the day, hopefully you're not putting any more than the 5% of your inventory in Boots products or any one SKU, should we say? And the net result is that you are what you're doing. You are then eligible, or should you say, it doesn't matter if you lose, because yeah, you lost 5% of your cash, but it's not the end of the world. You can obviously make profit the other way. So yeah, do I get surprise gates? We don't buy from Boots, but we do get it sometimes. I don't think it's really a problem. Admittedly, I've been selling for 5 years, so it's not the end of the world. So we don't think we really get gated on much. Or we just deal with it. We get lots of dead stock, so it does happen. Let's kind of go through Facebook user. Most likely that was an Amazon replacement. It happens to be. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, it says seller initiated. I've got to look at it. So I think it is Amazon replacement. Just really bad is like, while I understand Seller Toolkit, like I look at it every now and then, maybe like once a week. That's it. I literally just look at 15 numbers in the Seller Academy. That's it. 15 numbers in Seller Academy. That's all I look at every week. Again, I come back to the point. I really want to be an owner. I don't want to be an operator. Like I can be an operator. I know how to do an operation, but I'm not an operator. Like I can do the operation side, but I really want to run this business in as little time as possible. Time is your most valuable asset. And by the way, Alex Hormozy talked about it. He was talking about, I think he was like, in 2019, his gym companies, like gym launch and stuff like that. The year prior, he was doing, I think he was doing 15 million net profits. Fantastic. And then the next year, he just got out, as in like, he's running himself. The next year he hired a team and they did it. And he said, we're making about 8 million now, like 2 years later. But he's like, I literally do like an hour a week. That's it. That team run it for me. But beforehand, he was doing all the work. And he said before the business wasn't valuable because he was the one doing the work. So he could never sell it. But now the business is very valuable because he has a team running it for him. So he's gone from being cash rich, asset poor to asset rich and cash okay, but time rich. And I'm like, at the end of the day, the reason why I did this whole business is to have time, is to like enjoy my life. And don't get me wrong, there's I think I've forgotten his name, Naval, the guy. He's like, he got asked a question. I was watching, someone recommended him, Roma recommended him to watch him. I watched a video that he did, and he said, what's it called? Oh my God, it was really interesting. What would you say to the question about what should I do if I'm going to start a business? And Naval answered, I'm not going to tell you to find your passion. I think that's really bad, like generic, boring advice. But the advice that I would give you is you want to try and find something which you really enjoy doing, and to you is like play, and to other people is like work. So that way, because it's like work, there's value in it and people are paying for it. But on the other hand, because you find it like play, you enjoy doing it and you'll do really well. And when you find that intersection, so what makes me happy and what do I play and what's my work? And when I find that intersection, that's what I should be doing because that's where I'm going to get paid. Hope that makes sense. Guys, I do have to drop off in a minute, but I will just kind of go through some questions. Thomas, I've seen some products on eBay that I can buy to bulk flip to, but I'm not sure if they're original items. What's your thoughts? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't risk it. My God, unless they're like 100% legit, eBay will generally probably be fakes. And it's not in that. It's like when you get caught, like you can't prove it. You know, if you get the IP complaint, your account lost. So long story short, the one thing we always say in my business is protect the asset. Warren Buffett talks about it. It's like, look, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to limit the downside to zero, make the risk zero, but whilst maximizing the upside. But why the priority isn't maximizing the upside whilst taking some risk, it's making risk as low as possible, like next to zero, and then looking at the upside. Why? Because if you play this game long enough, the risk will bite you in the bum. But if you play the game long enough and you literally never have any risk, but you're always taking some upside, but not huge, not like get rich quick, but get rich like slowly and consistently, you'll just get rich because you're just making enough consistently good bets. And by the way, what is Amazon? We're slipping. We're flipping products. We're basically doing stock market. We're trading, buy low, sell high. That's all we do. The cash flow management sheet works amazing for me. So glad I purchased it for you. Might tweak a few things. Yeah, sure. Happy days. Yeah, honestly, well done. Really pleased that cash flow management sheet works. I built it for my 1 million USA business or 1 million UK business. Really, really helped out. Guys, I have to kind of rush through. I do need to drop off in a minute. I've been here way longer than I thought. You guys are great. I need to come on this time more often. If you want me to come on more at this time in the future, I appreciate it's late. It's like midnight in the UK and obviously US like 6 p.m. Drop me a comment down below. Like, yeah, Tom, this time's a really good time. Let me know. Just drop a comment down below. I do need to drop off, so I'll fire through. This is more a generic question, but business in general, from a personal perspective, how likely would you say success on the FBA provider that I invest all of my time and 500 a month in starting Amazon? I've already made 400 for revenue for reference. What's the reason? You could do it. 500 is not much. Like, you probably want a couple of thousand to get going. You're doing a margin on an investment. 500, 10% net margin, 50 quid. It's not much. You probably want a couple of thousand. You could do it. You just want more money. But that's it. Generally want more money. But yeah, fine. Invest, do it. Thomas Parkinson, USA company. Are you having a residential LLC? No, I use a prep. I use what's known as oh my God. Just do courses, fasttrackfba.com, go to resources, courses, or services and courses, and you'll see my getting started in USA. We literally tell you the formation agents we use and why, tax, prep centers, everything. I live in Mexico, I don't live in the US, and we do 1 million in the US, you can see it right there. That's all through prep centers and formation agents. Fasttrackfba.com, services, courses, getting started in USA is £97, $100. You can buy this course and it tells you how I created all my USA incorporations remotely. Do it, trust me, really, really good. Why do we focus on OA compared to wholesale? Again, I learn with OA, I know what's going on. I like OA, and wholesale, you have to build relationships. I'm like, my God, I don't want to get on the phone. My God, my phone rings and I don't answer it. Literally, I never answer it. My team pick it up for me. Like, sometimes I have 20 calls in a day. I don't answer any of them. My team do it all. Suppliers. Wholesale is a bit different. You want to speak to me? I'm like, no, thanks. So just to be clear, right now I have 12% margins, but it won't drop by a percentage, by points, right? It will drop. Yeah, I think you might, if you're doing 12% margin now, when you go VAT registered, by the way, you can just go into your software right now and just change it all to that and see what's going to happen. It's really simple, and change it back again. Like, I think you'll probably drop down to like 8 to 10%. That'd be a rough guess, but I don't know what your costs are, so I'm only guessing. Let's go through, followed on from that previous question, how many products you order at once on average? Not a clue. We spend about £500 per basket. That's what we're trying to do. £500 per order. That's what we're looking at. VAs last week in the UK spent £4,200 each per thing. I don't know how many you order on average per product. We're looking at spend rather than individual units. Hope that makes sense. Neil Patel, because seller amp shows significant drop for my SKU by around 7%, which is percentage terms. Yeah, start sourcing on that. Really, if you're going to be VAT registered, then you gotta start putting these details in. Otherwise, you're going to be losing money when you do go VAT registered, because right now you're buying products which aren't profitable. Hope that makes sense. But you're right. I will not focus on percentage too much, but find 100 SKUs. Yeah, fantastic. Keep doing it. Know your niche, know your process, your strategy. Keep doing it. Stack bands. This time is good. What time do you usually go live? I'm gonna try. I think it's a good time. Let's call it like 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. Central Time. I'm pretty happy with that. 5 p.m. That's pretty good. I'll do that. Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Brendan Beach says a good time. Fantastic. Someone on Instagram said, "Can you buy from eBay and sell on?" You can, but I recommend against it. You got to check for fakes. Don't do it through a prep center. My good friend Rake and Profit does it really, really well. 30K he did last month. Really good margins. You have to do it the right way. Like you really have to do it the right way. Fakes are your biggest problem on eBay. And by the way, you can't get another Amazon selling account if the first one gets shut down. Hope that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, I do need to run. I do need to go do some stuff, unfortunately. But I just want to say a really big thank you to all of you joining. If you enjoyed this thing, give me a big like. If you want to join the Seller Academy and learn my framework for 7 figures, we close on Friday, by the way. If you want to learn everything that I'm doing and you enjoy having conversations with me, and not like this, I mean actually in a chat where we can actually talk on like Zoom. I do it every week in the Seller Academy. It's my private group whereby I teach 20 people. This is the second time we've opened. We probably won't reopen again this year. How to do my 7-figure businesses there. Everything about hiring VAs, using other people's monies, how we do strategies, all the metrics I look at. Do check that out. You can book a call down there, fasttrackfba.com/seller, fasttrackfba.com. Seller Academy, check it out. Trust me, we close on Friday. We will not reopen. Literally, this is the last, like, you've got the last few days. It's Tuesday today. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You've got 4 days. Like, book in a call today. After Friday, you will not be able to book calls in, and we will not reopen this year. So if you are interested and you want to learn everything from me and have like weekly calls with me and my team, everything that I did to build these and exact frameworks, by the way, we've got some great reviews about it. You'll see it on the website, fasttrackfba.com/seller. I hope that's right. So any questions, let me know, but I'll see you hopefully same time later on tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Woohoo.